Hello, everyone, and welcome to ReMIND. This is the place where we have amazing conversations, a space where we pause and look beyond titles, roles, and the results just to explore the human stories behind leadership. This is not a place where we are talking about only transformation as a strategy, but these are the conversations where we talk about what is it that shifts when we bring in mindset into picture. We talk about mindset as a shift to transformation and also as a choice. And I believe that building organizations do not just happen because of big ideas. I have always believed that it happens with consistent work on the ground. And to talk about this today, I have my amazing friend. Everyone know her, and we all know her as the Possibilitarian. She is an amazing leader who's shifting lives with her work and bringing in balance. And that is who we have today with us. We have today with us Gauri Das. Welcome, Gauri, to our talk show ReMIND. Thank you so much for honoring us and joining us.
So glad to be here. Any conversation with you is always amazing. So I'm looking for another one.
Amazing, Gauri. Thank you so much. But before we start talking to Gauri, we must know what Gauri works on. Gauri is the lead HR for HR and CSR at India Factoring and Finance Solutions. If I talk about her on the personal front, she is known by so many, and a lot of people look up to her. She is an inspiration by the kind of life that she lives. A real example of somebody who's bringing possibilities as a way of looking, the mindset. Her work in the professional front sits at a powerful intersection between people, governance, and culture. And she is someone who has built systems that don't just exist on paper, but actually support people performance and growth of people in their real life. And that's what we are here to explore today with Gauri. So welcome one more time, Gauri. Thank you so much for joining us. It is always a pleasure to speak to you, and I'm looking forward to listening to you again today.
Likewise, Esther. And thank you so much for the warm welcome and the nice words you have told about me.
They are very true, but let's get on to the questions because the minute we start talking about you, we will go on a different tangent because I look up to you for a lot of things. So let's get started in knowing Gauri from her leadership journey and how she's been transforming. And that's where my very first question comes to you, Gauri. And that is, the way we approach people and systems today, it is very, very different from how it used to be like a decade back. I want to ask you, what was that experience for you that quietly shaped that lens of the change in approach?
Yeah, very good question because it's all about change today. It's not that earlier it was not, but now the pace of change is very quick, and that's where we have to always be on our toes. So, if I have to define it how it happened, I would say it starts in your mind, and the title here is excellently describing it. Remind. So, actually, to accept change, you have to remind. You have to let go of some beliefs. So, the beliefs I let go were employee experience. So very early when I started my career, I started it as someone who was doing leave and attendance management. And I used to be very, very powerful during the end of the month because people would come to me and they will be very worried that there should not be any deduction or there should not be any leave without pay. But later on, there was nothing much. There was no meat in the role. I used to not feel happy about it. As an engineer, I used to even feel very bad about it. That what am I doing? However, as things started changing, as my mind also started grasping more and more understanding of business, I started realizing that there are a lot of that HR can contribute to people. So it was not only about running things for them, but it was about to begin with supporting business, how we bring in the best, and that's where all the change came. But that was also a phase, and now I believe that it's not about supporting business. HR is also business. So things have been evolving, and I would say all this because things are changing at home as well. The kind of experience we get at home, blink it and you get it. Your employee is somebody's customer. So when they get such kind of experience in their personal life, they start expecting it in their professional life as well. Second, the kind of opportunities that started coming up, retention became a requirement, a very, very important requirement. Attraction became a challenge. So overall, the strategy started revolving around people. It was no longer employers market, it was employees market, and that's where HR came out as a very strong voice. So these were the beliefs that changed. I think more learning, understanding that you are not supporting or you are not peripheral to the business, you are also business. And yes, the belief that if your employee can get excellent experience from some other business, they should get it at their workplaces as well.
That's so right, because now HR is no more about the rangoli and the celebration alone. It's more about the people and the culture and making them feel that this place is their very own and not just one place where they go to get the paycheck and deliver a work. So I totally agree with you. I can resonate with it from my days when I started working in an organization. I joined as a management trainee, and I know that leave in attendance and all, it was like word to word, 30 minutes here off, 10 minutes, and we used to go sad, but we knew that the organization is big, so we can't do. Our involvement and ownership was really, really lacking in those days. And I think this shift has changed people's perspective about workplace. But my question to you comes is, in roles like yours, where you're constantly balancing compliance, culture, and the business needs. Uh, from your experience, what has been the toughest part of that balancing act between the culture, compliance, people, and the business needs?
Yeah, I think when empathy was not practiced so much, I would say before COVID, workplaces were like you come here to deliver and you go back. That's how it used to be. There will be people who will not even know who all are in their family. I mean, team members, family, and all. But after COVID, we saw that the discussion would start. How are you? How's everyone at home and all? So the balance at that point of time, that if you have to give an exception for a policy matter and it is related to human aspect of it, you would be labeled as weak, that you cannot take a tough call. Or if you are on the other side of it, you would be labeled management's person. So there was always a conflict. No matter what you do, people will think, no, you are from that side, and this side will think, no, you are only thinking about people, you are not thinking about business. And to a certain extent, it was true also for a long time, because HR did not have that understanding how business operates. So anything, even the business language was not HR's forte. So yes, the HR was working in isolation and they were running something which was, yes, definitely helping the organization, but not helping the cause fully. So this balancing act where you have to choose between human emotions and a tough call is where I would say most of the balance is required. And how it comes in is you talk in terms of business and you give them some understanding of human being as well, empathy as well. So a balance act, I think, you are trustworthy, it becomes easy because people will take it on face value. But if you are not, then you would not be able to bring in that value.
I agree. In fact, in many organizations, still HR is seen as an outsider. People don't really, people don't really speak openly in front of them.
Yeah.
They don't open up. But as HR and learning and people development is becoming a part of the business, I think somewhere the mindset of the HR is also changed and they are owning up. Because earlier, I feel there was a lot of insecurity involved, even because they were the watchmen for the policies, people policies, I would say. And there was a lot of scare because you're not a part of the business. How would it play for you as an HR? But I think that involvement and making HR a part of business in itself has brought in that confidence for us to start, looking at the people aspect. That's amazing. But in your experience, what makes any system or initiative actually work for the people who are really putting in the work? So, what makes any system or initiative really work?
I think it's ownership. And I will bring up a personal story where things went wrong. So I was restructuring the compensation structure for one of the FMCG organization very early, more than a decade. And I was working with an American boss, and they are like, "You work more, you are paid more, right?" So I think more than 15 years, but I still remember it very clearly. FMCG company, we said more put on the roads, more in field, you will be paid more for field staff. So Saturday, we said you will be paid, I think, around 1,000 rupees if you go to fields. And for rest of the organization, it was considered as a holiday. So, I mean, weekend off, weekend. So you are going to work, you are paid more for it. And you are not working, you are not paid for it. It's a holiday for you. But that strategy backfired, and people accused me of discrimination, that you are pushing us to be at work. Yes, you are paying, but 1,000 rupees is not the cost for my Saturday, my weekend. If I get a long weekend, and I'm saying 15 years ago, very few organizations were having in India at least. So that was a very big thing that time. And my lessons from there, I had to roll it back. And my lessons from that were that I only spoke to my mind and my CEO. I never spoke to anybody in business. I had no idea how would they feel about it. And from there on, I have always made it a point that not only CXO level, but even CXO minus one are also apprised of, or rather not apprised of, asked for their views about a particular policy. When this happens, one, you get very good ideas which you have not even thought about because they are living that life. And two, they have skin in the game. I was part of the meeting when it was decided. So it's not HR's agenda, it's my agenda. And they pass it on to their team. So I think the best part of running any policy or any agenda or any project is to have the ownership from the team. And that will come from respect, because there have been instances that I went with a proposal and somebody CXO minus three level said that no, this will not work out and you should make a change. So if you are egoist, you will think like, no, how can I make a change? My full team has worked on it. And if you are open to new ideas, you will accept it. So it takes more time, it takes patience, it takes letting go of your ego, but the results are good.
And I think that's where Possibilitarian comes into play, isn't it? Yes. The minute you said that, it just resonated with the way you are living and the way you carry that Possibilitarian. It's the way of looking at things, whether you look at it from a personal ego point of view, or you start finding a possibility in what somebody said and try to mold it. That's amazing. And I think, yes, this also helps the minute we start involving people, that you're seeing the bigger canvas, and that gives you a bigger clarity, and of course the ownership starts coming in because now everybody's involved. So and I think that's what has started to shift, building the cultures of organizations very different in our country, at least.
Yes.
But when we're talking about culture, Gauri, like culture for us right now, everybody is speaking about it in very big words. The minute we say culture, every intelligent thought comes around it, and big thoughts and big ideas. But according to your experience, where do you see culture showing up in the very small everyday behaviors? What are those behaviors that needs that attention, the very small everyday behavior that actually build the culture?
Yeah, I think it happens when you are met with a difficult situation, because when things are easy, everything looks good. So I will tell you an example again. I met with an accident near my office, and I told my boss, and the first thing he said, if office car is not available, I'll send my car. You go to hospital. That was the first thing. There was no discussion around the whole day. There was only, how are you doing? Do you have money? He even checked that. Are you in position to pay? Would you be remembering your password? Because it was an accident. So that is what shows culture. How do I feel on a Friday evening? And how do I feel on a Sunday evening is what shows the culture. So culture will never show up in big things. We can only talk about culture in big words and big things, but the small things. I mean, asking should I send somebody along with you? There can be a different reaction also. Okay, I'm telling you, and you say okay, take care. That also can be a reaction. And 3 years later, you start asking me, this was pending, and you were to reply on this. What happened to that? So these two things will actually define how the organization is in terms of culture. And this I'm saying coming from CEO, so the whole organization follows that. Yeah. So simple terms, this is how it would be.
Yes, I think it is coming back to the basics of being human, right? It is about that human aspects which actually connects. And then when we go in the boardrooms to discuss the bigger strategies, I think this is that human centricity and the human connect which actually supports the
Correct.
strategies. So it is those everyday acts of not highly technical and great on skills and etc., but it is more about going back to the basics of being the person and the human that actually helped us evolve and connect. But still, uh, because the AI and the digital age is just picking up in the last couple of years, and still we find leaders who are a little adamant about things, still resisting that we need that core to be intact. So, in your experience, what's something that leaders tend to overcomplicate when it comes to, people, culture, and leadership? What is that a lot of leaders tend to overcomplicate?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it comes from the fundamental belief that if I make things simple, I would not be required. So everyone tries to bring in complications so that they are looked up to, their advice is asked for. And I think you said it very right that it's all about going back to basics. Anything you are doing, leaving the technical stuff, which could actually be complicated and technical, day to day life is not about making things complicated, but we do. Because there's another belief which I have seen in many coaches of mine that if it is easy, I have not put in effort, so I do not deserve it. I'm sure you also would have come across people who believe that, right? We call it fear of success also in certain manner. So the very fundamental belief that it has to be complicated so that my value is retained. It has to be complicated so that I can say I did so much to get this, or did so much to achieve this for the organization. Uh, they try to do it, and mostly happens in very small moments, because and I believe the fundamental reason for this is ego. uh, Otherwise things would be very very simple in life, because day to day interaction, you ask someone for something, they would be happily giving it unless they realize, oh, what about my position? If I don't say no, how would people perceive it? Like, she is very easygoing or he is very easygoing. So, making things complicated is one of the things leaders want to do, and they want to do it to satisfy their ego, but doesn't help much, because it may help for some time creating that aura, or creating that kind of impression around you that he or she is not approachable, or whatever. They are someone very big, but do we really want to be a leader people do not want to approach? Or how long can you be a leader who is not approachable? So I think there is a shift there as well. People are now realizing that it is not about title, position, or how difficult it is to reach out to you, but how easy.
Think that is one reason why the natural leadership qualities of women are being now appreciated more than anything, because women are natural caretakers is how we understand, and that helps now when people, one of the biggest, I always talk about this in my sessions also, is that AI is amazing, AI is great, but as the more technology, more AI, more advancement, more digitization is coming in, there is a void which is getting created, and that can only be filled with human connection, human trust, knowing each other on these smaller day to day things. And the minute that trust, the basis of the foundation of anything is trust, I feel, the minute that starts building, all this insecurity, I feel, starts going away and dissolving. That's where simplicity starts coming in. we have a long way to go on that, because people still feel that insecurity. They want to be felt important, but when there is a desperation, I feel, to feel important, and it is not naturally happening, I think we are putting in too much effort to on that. And so, but my last question, you're sharing some amazing insights, but my last question to you before we get into the fun side of it is, from your experience, because you have vast experience, and if somebody wants to build a strong team and culture, Gauri, what is that one simple thing they should start doing consistently, instead of one big policy, one big strategy? According to you, if they have to build a strong team or culture as a leader, what is that one simple thing that they should start doing consistently and see the results roll?
Yeah, very important thing, because you rightly mentioned one big thing is not going to get you result. It's everyday things that will bring in the best result. But before that, I would like to talk about the feminine leadership, and it reminds me of a very good example. So a friend of mine who works as a GM or DGM level in HR, she appeared for an interview, and she's a black belt. She runs, I mean, she drives cars through the nights, and she has done it for 3,000 kilometers at one stretch, and a lot of other things which would not be put as feminine. But she went for an interview for a CHRO role, and the feedback that she got was she is too soft. So she would not be able to handle people. So you said the right thing, that it is going to take some time, because people define leadership as aggressive, because everyone has seen only men doing it. But now people are realizing, more so because of tech. Everywhere there is tech, and you need emotions here. So yes, the shape of future leadership is also changing. Yeah, coming to the question, one thing which leaders must do consistently is just walk the talk. Whatever you do, whatever you say, just do it, and this will start building trust. You do it every day, people will know you are predictable, you are not about your moods, and slowly the bonding will be very, very strong. But the moment you break it even once, I mean, there will be exceptional situation, and people around you will understand it. But if you do it multiple times, they will not know who you are. You will praise them today, and you will not even look at them tomorrow. That consistency will be broken. So create your credibility. It's good for you first. Later it comes to team, and things will be easy.
So well said. Yes. Once people, that credibility starts talking for you, when people see that what this person is speaking is exactly how he live, or they're walking the talk, like you said, I think the perception of people and the acceptance of you as a person drastically changes.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the win begins. So thank you so much for sharing that, Gauri. And I agree. When you were sharing about this female, your friend who drives and all, I also remember somebody whom I had spoken many years back, and she does these rally car and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and she is at a CXO level, but still she has her challenges when it comes to acceptance as a leader. And I think, yeah, it's all that shift, this which it is happening in a lot of organizations.
Yes.
I would say people have started accepting leaders, women leaders, and
Correct.
seeing them that they are tougher and different.
Mm.
It's the cerebral toughness, and it is the cerebral part, and not just the physical aspect, that makes you tough. People have started accepting, which is amazing, but I think there's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh,
Long way.
yeah. Yeah. But thank you so much for sharing those insights. We got to it up now. And so I will take you to another part of our conversation, which I call as this or that. So I'm
Mhm.
going to be giving you two options. Quick choice, no overthinking, pick one. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's get started with this or that with Gauri. And my first question to you, Gauri, is planning everything or figuring it out as you go?
Figuring it out.
Figuring it out as you go. Amazing. That is why she's called the Possibilitarian, because she is finding possibilities as she goes and move forward. Second, data telling you one thing or your gut saying another.
Data.
Data. She goes with data. Amazing. Next one, quiet time to reset, or talking it loud out with someone?
Quiet time, anytime.
Quiet time to reset?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Another one, voice note or typing it out?
Voice note. When I'm sending, when I'm receiving, it's text.
Then please write. I don't have time. I understand. I totally understand. Many a times when people send me voice note, I say I can't listen to this right now, and then it gets delayed. But yeah, voice note helps. Okay,
Yeah.
let's discuss or let's decide now.
Let's discuss.
Let's discuss. And the last one, remembering names or remembering stories about people.
Stories. Remembering
Remembering
stories about
stories.
people.
Are you bad at remembering names?
Yes.
Do you know my name? Then it is
Too
sorted.
clear.
Then it is fine. All right. So much. This was this or that with Gauri, and you know her choices. Um, she's living what she talks, and but will not let her go right away. We have another part wherein we have which we call as rapid fire. Uh, quick answers, Gauri. First thing that comes to your mind, we want to know that. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started with the rapid fire. And here's our first question. One word that your team would use for you, other than possibilitarian.
Okay. So that's the question because the possibility thing is very easy.
Yeah,
Humble.
humble. Okay, I agree with that. Yes. One habit that keeps you grounded at work.
Gratitude.
Attitude. Amazing.
I
Yeah,
give you
that's what
maximum
makes you
thank you
humble.
cards.
Okay. All right. Okay. Something that drains your energy faster than it should.
Arguments.
Arguments. That is why gratitude, humble, of course, there's no place for arguments. Makes total sense. Okay. One leadership skill that you learned the hard way.
Uh, Bringing people along. I mean, listening to, like I shared the story, having involvement from people is very, very hard.
Yeah. I know, because in your head we know that this is going to work. In your head you know what you're proposing, but we still have to. I totally understand that. Okay,
Yeah.
your most used line at work.
हो जाएगा.
हो जाएगा. The possibilitarian.
Yes.
Yes. हो जाएगा, करते हैं.
कर
Okay,
लेंगे.
amazing. कर लेंगे. Okay. A small thing that builds trust instantly, according to you.
Smile.
Sorry?
If it is instantly, it's a smile.
Smile. Okay. All right. Yeah. And I'm sure people have always seen you smile everywhere. Okay, we got your secret, Gauri. Okay, one belief about work that you've changed over time.
Yes, I used to believe it's two compartments, work-life balance, but I realize it's work-life integration. When I need time, organization should have flexibility to give it to me, and when they need me, even if it is midnight, I should be okay to do it.
So well said. In fact, in my sessions also, this is what I say, that it's the same person.
Yeah,
In your head, you made a wall, but you are the same person who's
correct.
moving from here to there. So why are we so stiff in the workplace? The minute
Yes,
we bring in the human part of from our personal life to the work, it is going to change. That's what I also feel. So I so agree with you, and so well said. Your go-to reset after a long day.
meditation.
Meditation. Yeah. She has a Buddha statue also near her place. We know that, everyone. Okay. Yes. Success for you today. What does it look like?
Happiness.
And how do you define happiness?
So one the very basic measurement would be how do I feel about myself, and the
Wow.
second one would be how do I make others feel who come in contact with me. So I am successful if I am able to speak to somebody who is CEO and somebody who is office assistant, in the same respectful manner, I would say I have been successful that day.
And that's exactly what makes you grounded and an amazing person. And you are in contact with a lot of people. A lot of people know you. And so, my last question in the rapid fire comes to you, asking you one thing people would be surprised to know about you.
Surprised. Mm, I have not spoken about it, so maybe I love gardening. That can be one of the things.
Gardening.
Yes.
Wow, we didn't know this. I didn't know this. We are
Yeah.
we are like ardent followers of Gauri Das on LinkedIn and pictures and everything. We've not seen you. We've seen you here and there with the plantation, but we
Yes.
didn't know
Yeah. But
gardening.
not.
So
Yeah. This
everybody,
side of life I have not shared. Yes.
yeah, yes. So everyone, she loves gardening, and so probably when you want to gift her something, buy a plant.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. That works. Yes, instead of anything else, get her some plant, some nice plant, and she would love you for that because she loves gardening. Thank you so much, Gauri, for sharing and being so open about sharing all these questions and very real and grounded, practical. Uh, I cannot, I mean, I don't get enough of appreciating that you walk the talk, and that's what makes Gauri Das. And so thank you for being so refreshingly real every single time that we talk. You always remind me that strong organizations are not built on big ideas, but it builds on a strong foundation of human core. The leaders who lead the systems by first being human. And so, thank you so much once again for coming and joining us. And for everybody who's watching, say a hi to Gauri. Send her some plant. You will find her address, or send her hi, and you will be surprised that she would reply to you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Gauri. Thank you once again. And for everyone watching, we would be coming soon with another episode with another leader's insights. And so, see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther. Every time we speak, it's always wonderful. This time was no exception. And I look forward to speaking to you more in person as well.
Yes, definitely, Gauri. I love our laughter, the easiness with which we talk,
Yeah.
uh, and for the pinky promise that we've
Yes.
kept. I think it's going strong. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.